Let's start this chapter where we left in the previous video, the 100 dresses part 2nd. When school was dismissed in the afternoon, Peggy said with pretended casualness, "Hey, let's go and see if that kid has left town or not." So Peggy had the same idea. Maddie glowed. Peg was really alright. Now both the girls were thinking the same thing, and they were ready to go to see whether Wanda was still there. Both of them wanted to say sorry and wanted to convey this message that they all were feeling absolutely blessed to have Wanda in their life. The two girls hurried out of the building. Both of them went. This paragraph we had done in previous one. "When at least," said Peggy gruffly. "I never did call her a foreigner or make fun of her name." Now, Peggy is trying to justify whatever she had done with Wanda. She said that I had never made fun of her name. I never thought she had the sense to know we were making fun of her anyway. I thought she was too dumb. And gee, look how she can draw. She said that she never knew that whenever they were trying to make fun of her, she was going to catch it. She thought she was not smart enough to know all those things. That's why she couldn't know that she could hurt her. Maddie could say nothing. All she hoped was that they would find Wanda. She wanted to tell her that they were sorry they had picked on her, and how wonderful the whole school thought she was, and please not to move away and everybody would be nice. Now after meeting Wanda, they wanted to convey this thing to her, that everybody was thinking how wonderful her designs were, how wonderful she was, and she need not to move from that place. And she further added she and Peggy would fight anybody who was not nice. Even she wanted to convey that Peggy would see those children who would not behave nicely with her. The two girls hurried on. They hoped to get to the top of the hill before dark. "I think that's where the Petronsky live," said Maddie, pointing to a little white house with of old grass stuck up here and there along the pathway like thin kittens. Now they wanted to go to that height where Wanda lived. They found that house and they entered there. The house and its spare little yard looked shabby, not clean, and reminded Maddie of Wanda's one dress, her faded blue cotton dress, shabby but clean. After getting that house, the house was reminded them her blue dress, as she was wearing that blue dress that looked clean but not very decent, shabby. The house had the same condition, that was clean but shabby. There was not a sign of life about the house. Peggy knocked firmly on the door, but there was no answer. She and Maddie went around to the backyard and knocked there. Still there was no answer. There was no doubt about it that Petronsky were gone. How could they ever make amends? Now they knocked the door from front, from back, but no answer they could get. It means it's certain that Petronskys had left. Now they could not do what they had already done. They couldn't say sorry to her. They could not say all the good things they were thinking about Wanda at that time. They turned slowly and made their way back down the hill. Well, anyway, said Peggy, she's gone now. No, so what can we do? Besides, when I was asking her about all her dresses, she probably was getting good ideas for her drawings. She might not even have won the contest otherwise. Now Wanda had gone. She was teased that time by Peggy, but now Peggy was having some excuses. Peggy said that when I was asking her about her 100 dresses, she must be getting ideas to make another one. And moreover, if she had not asked this game with her, so definitely she must not be going to win this contest. Maddie turned this idea carefully over in her head. For if there were anything in it, she would not have to feel so badly. But that night she could not get to sleep. She thought about Wanda and her faded blue dress and the little house she had lived in. That night, Maddie was unable to sleep. Whole night she was thinking about Wanda, and she was thinking how to do something for Wanda. And she thought of the glowing picture those 100 dresses made, all lined up in the classroom. When she was thinking about Wanda, she was thinking about those 100 dresses, those beautiful 100 dresses, which was made by Wanda. Again and again, all these ideas were coming in her mind. At last, Maddie sat up in bed and pressed her forehead tight in her hands and really thought. Then Maddie couldn't sleep. She just pressed her forehead. It means she was disturbed a lot. Then she started thinking. This was the hardest thinking she had ever done. After a long time, she reached an important conclusion. She was never going to stand by and say nothing again. Now she had decided some decisions for her life, that she would do something. She had decided not to be quiet anymore now. If she ever heard anybody picking on someone because they were funny looking or because they had strange names, she would speak up. Now she had decided if anybody would make fun of someone, she was not going to be quiet, but she would speak up. Even if it meant losing Peggy's friendship, she had no way of making things right with Wanda. But from now on, she would never make anybody else that unhappy again. Even now, she had become courageous enough to fight, to just oppose Peggy even. And she was thinking, if she had to lose Peggy's friendship, in spite of that also, she would definitely protect the other needy people, and she was not going to hurt someone as if they hurt Wanda. On Saturday, Maddie spent the afternoon with Peggy. They were writing a letter to Wanda Petronsky. Now, because they could not meet Wanda, so both of them sat down and they wrote a letter for Wanda. It was just a friendly letter telling about the contest and telling Wanda she had won. Now that letter was about a friendly one, and in that letter she wanted to write about the contest and that she had won the contest. They told her how pretty her drawings were, and they asked her if she liked where she was living, as if she liked her new teacher. Now in the letter they told her that her wonderful designs, and they asked her whether she liked the place where she was living at that time. And she asked her, and what about your teacher? Do you like it? Do you like your teacher? They then had meant to say they were sorry, but it ended up with their just writing a friendly letter, the kind they would have written to any good friend, and they signed it with lots of X's for love. See, in that letter, actually they started the letter because they wanted to say sorry, but they did not end the letter by saying sorry, but they ended the letter in a friendly note. They did not write anything about sorry. They mailed the letter to Boggins Heights, writing please forward on the envelope. They wrote the Boggins Heights address that it should